Hello again, it's Clint, and welcome to Sweetcast. I've got bad news for you. Comic book fans are super rapey. At least that's the word that has been going around Twitter the past couple days here. Let me read you just a few of the sentiments coming out. One comic book / game shop in our city lost an HR case where a female staffer was sexually harassed by multiple customers, and the owner told her to put up with it. It's been years since that case, and the store still stands, but I'll never shop there or bring my daughters there. So, I hate that I have to say this, but if there was indeed sexual harassment going on, somebody should get kicked out of a store, somebody should maybe lose their job, whatever. There should be justice if there's legitimate sexual harassment. However, in today's age, it's hard to know what sexual harassment means, because I've been told at least 15 times this past week that I'm harassing people, and I haven't done any such thing. So this concept creep that happens makes me distrust every single incident where I hear somebody is sexually harassed. Here's another one. I legit created a ladies' comic book night because women don't feel safe or welcome in comic shops. I worked in one for 6 years, had a customer shocked at my depth of knowledge. Some men wouldn't even speak to a female employee. Some men don't speak to women. There's a lot of, what do you think incels? You had a lot of incels in there? They didn't speak to women. Maybe the woman there wasn't very fun to speak to. I don't know, because all I have to work on is this tweet. I'm just taking your word for it. Customers were shocked by your depth of knowledge. What's so wrong with that? You're smarter than you look. To me, that seems like a pretty good thing. I know I'm kind of going up this tweet a little backward, but being smarter than you look, you shocked them, you wowed them, they were impressed. Sounds okay. And a ladies' comic book night, that actually sounds like a lot of fun. However, the issue here is safe or welcome. Now, one of these words is quite a bit stronger than the other. Can you guess which one? Yeah, the concept of safety is really shifting, at least for social justice warriors. It's shifting big time. When I hear safe or unsafe, I think danger, not it smells like body odor or there's no attractive looking men in the shop or whatever you might think. But since we're here, we might as well go down the rabbit hole of, you guessed it, rape culture, because that's what this is all about. Did you know that comic culture is being targeted by academics to demonstrate rape culture? Here's just a little excerpt for you. Audiences may imitate the behaviors of fictional media characters or actual people they see in the news. For example, people mimic murdering strategies from films, or active fans wear similar cloth as their favorite cartoon characters in cosplay events. Whoa, that is a massive jump. You saying people murder people based off things they have seen in films, and then you also lump in that same group cosplayers that wear the same kind of cloth as characters. You see there's a big difference here. I don't know, though, cosplayers lately. Other impact of media on the audiences includes the belief in rape myth, gender stereotype. Wow. Okay. Rape myth. There's a myth with rape and gender stereotypes. Again, they lump two things together. Gender stereotypes, honestly, are pretty benign. Like the father, the man in the family, he's a big buffoon that can't even zip up his own pants. That's a gender stereotype. But you know what? We survive. And so I wanted to point out the obvious because lately it seems that's exactly what I'm doing. But somebody committing a murder that's based off of a movie or a comic book that they saw some murder in, that's no different than anything else. That's human nature. Bono once said, every artist is a cannibal, every poet is a thief, all kill for inspiration, then sing about the grief. And while this is actually about creating and being an artist and basically taking ideas that you like and sort of butchering them up and making your own ideas, there's no totally original idea. This absolutely is the same thing with murder. Nobody just one day thought of a way to murder somebody and they carried it out. They are getting inspiration from somewhere. So that's true across every single behavior in human nature. I got to stop here for just 1 minute to tell you this channel has been growing massively. If you've been watching my videos, you've been hearing about Sweetcast, and you haven't subscribed yet, take just a minute and you go down there and just click subscribe. It really helps me out. If I can get to 1,000, that's going to help me start monetizing, and then I can use that money to work on our comic. Okay, so real rape culture. Real rape culture is like this. 48 women raped every hour in the Congo. That is insane. It is insane. And these are actual rapes. So the problem is that there's this thing called concept creep. And what that is when you are living in a first world and your life is comfy and things are nice, you start to find problems in society and you start to expand them because they're the worst problems that you can possibly think of. And so you make them big in your mind, you make them obstacles that you cannot overcome. It's part of human nature. And just some examples here. A mother leaves her son in a car while popping into a store in a strip mall. She is charged with contributing to the delinquency of a minor. A high school senior complains to her Facebook friends about a teacher and is suspended for cyberbullying. Students at Wellesley start a petition calling for the removal of a statue of a man in his underwear, claiming that the art piece caused them emotional trauma. So many residents of Santa Monica, California claim to need emotional support animals that the local farmers market warns against service dog fraud. Now, I can speak to this firsthand. Where I work, there's a lot of debate around service animals. There's a big difference. There's a legal difference, and there's an actual functional difference between support animals and service animals. Service animals are trained to perform a task that often can be life-saving or really enabling to a person that has an actual disability, and that is amazing. Emotional support animals, on the other hand, I mean, I've got a dog, a little Boston Terrier. He's fun. I like to cuddle with him. It's kind of relaxing, snuggle up with a puppy. That's nice, but it's not trained to do anything. And so everybody, this is concept creep. That's exactly what's going on. And only because I feel like you haven't cringed enough during this video, we're going to watch this video on rape culture and get a little bit more educated. So buckle in.
Examples of sexual assault or rape culture happening, like in real time.
Sure. Well, in terms of rape culture, that could be literally anywhere. I mean, just comments and jokes.
Okay, got to interrupt you there. She said, the question was, can you give me some examples of sexual assault or rape culture? Again, concept creep. Sexual assault is physically, sexually touching somebody physically, sexually touching somebody. And it could definitely be much worse, that's for sure. But at a minimum, that's what it is. And then they link it together with rape culture. This is concept creep.
Jokes and normalizing or trivializing sexual assault in any way.
Because you hear it, you see it, you read it all the time, rape culture this, rape culture that. But I think sometimes it's hard to define.
When we unpack rape culture,
it's hard to define because there is no definition. It's a moving target, and that is done on purpose. It's a scary word that they associate with a real thing that's scary. And then that way they can throw the word around and scare or control people and make that definition fit their need at any given moment.
Culture, and when we unpack the issues with it, we're not just talking about don't rape people. It comes with so many gender assumptions and gender norms. And I'm not...
Okay, they're not just talking about, how about, don't rape people. That goes without saying, right? Don't rape people. That's not cool. But then there's association, what did she say? That hookup culture is wrong. I think she's about to say that. There's gender norms that's equivalent to raping someone. They're saying that's even more. That's beyond, don't just not rape somebody, but also, how about don't be so gender normative.
I'm not saying that hookup culture is wrong, but I say hookup culture is a direct, and I mean direct, symptom, and being okay with that is a direct symptom of rape culture.
Okay, did you hear what she just said? She's not saying the hookup culture is wrong, But hookup culture is a direct symptom of rape culture. So I think that means it's wrong.
It's not even a question of whether or not it is permeating campuses. It is permeating campuses.
It's not permeating campuses. I spend a lot of time on a campus. I have been spending a lot of time on a campus for years and years and years. It's because concept creep. That's the word of the day. It's the phrase of the day, concept creep. If you can call everything rape or sexual assault, then therefore actual rape and actual sexual assault gets buried in the numbers.
If I'm at a bar and I can see like a group of guys that it legitimately gives me anxiety, that I can see that they look predatory to me.
All the chads sitting at the bar just looking like predators. This is how comic shops are too, by the way. You go, you're just flipping through some comics, trying to read you some Squirrel Girl or teach you how to be a good male feminist. And then there's all those rapey, creepy guys hanging out by the Tomb Raider section.
The way that they look at women around a bar.
I don't know, like no one's ever said no to them. Like they usually get what they want. They feel entitled to do whatever they want to do, I guess.
Is that exactly how you feel, comics fans? You go to a comic shop, man, you can get any chick there, both of them. Yeah, you just get what you want.
Yes.
It's frightening to me more that seems to continue out into post-college life.
Some people honestly probably don't think that they're doing anything wrong at all.
They don't think they're doing anything wrong at all. What are they doing? Have they touched anyone? Have they assaulted anybody? Have they, even said something super inappropriate to somebody? Or are you talking about jokes or looks or, normal stuff? And I just want to point out, this isn't just men that do it. I've worked around a lot of women, and even like we're talking 50 at plus aged women, and every time the water guy comes in to change the water cooler thingy, they're all looking at him, and as soon as he leaves, that's all they can talk about how sexy the water guy is. Don't get me wrong, he's sexy, but it goes both ways.
Predicted necessarily, if they were sitting across the table from Brock Turner, that he would ever do this to somebody.
And there we go, Brock Turner. Again, linking an actual rapist, a convicted rapist, violent rapist, with the guys at the comic book shop that maybe give a girl a glance, or as we saw in this earlier tweet, wouldn't even speak to a female employee. This is all the same thing, right? All right, I don't want to beat this horse too much to death, but it is really silly. When you say it out loud, it sounds even sillier. So yeah, don't stand up for that nonsense. We're tired of people calling us rapists. We just want to enjoy comics. Come on. Okay, and I wanted to follow up on the video I did a couple days ago. We talked about titles for my comic that I'm working on, and we're gonna get this thing published. So we got to have a working title. I got lots and lots of titles. I tried to pick. I didn't want to pick too many from the same people, but I picked a whole bunch here. Tommy Sarkinen gave us the name Downcast and Skyborn. Andrew T did the name Drop Off. Rocket Surgeon, Skyborn, but with an E, so a little bit different than the other Skyborn. Death X Dealer Zero gave us Firmament and Aeropolis. James LeBlanc gave us Nimbus Spiral. Gustav Pabon gave us Negative Float. And then I Love Dorky Chicks, is that rape culture? Can you say that? Gave us Ascension. And then New Mage gave us Dive and Rise. Okay, so I really appreciated everybody that participated. This list is so big, I had to cull the herd. So what I did is I went to Google and I looked up each of these to find out if there were existing titles or search terms that might make our book here get lost in the clutter, and I eliminated them. I also took a little creative freedom and changed some of these just a little bit so that they had a little bit more ring to them. So if yours got deleted or changed, I apologize. I'm just trying to narrow it down and get us a good title. So that leaves us with 4 options, and I've added a 5th that's back to the drawing board. So vote in the comment section below. Let me know your thoughts on all this madness, all the rape that's happening at our comic book shops. And when you do, please leave a number. Say vote 1 for Downcast, vote 2 for Aeropolis. I made it one word there, but I'm flexible. Vote 3 for Float. That was another one I changed a little bit. And then vote 4 for Dive to Rise. I added the 2. Again, it's negotiable. Or if they're all just not quite there, vote 5, and we'll go back to the drawing board and think of another name. So thank you everybody for watching. I can't even tell you how throttled I am. This channel has been growing so much. It's been growing so fast. It feels so validating. So thank you so much. I couldn't have done it without all of you subscribing, liking. That really helps the algorithm. And then also, every time you retweet a video, every time you tell somebody about Sweetcast, it really helps me out. So upward and onward. Thank you. I'll see you next time.